Today is day 9 of the war. It's October 15th, 2023, the 30th of Tishrei. We had a relatively quiet Shabbat. We were asked to leave our phones on, which is extremely, extremely unusual because we have an app on our phone that alerts us in case there is rocket fire in our vicinity, so that we have 90 seconds where we are to get to a safe room. We were also asked to keep our radios tuned, battery-operated radios, tuned to what they call a silent station, which means that if there was emergency information that was being broadcast, we would hear it. Otherwise, there was nothing on. I am able to report that the grocery stores are better stocked now. There's not any noticeable food shortages. Fresh produce is coming in, dairy foods are coming in, bread is coming in, and in some communities, children are going to be going back to school at least for half a day in the next couple of days, at least in some communities. I'm personally still my nervous system is still on overload, still experiencing bouts of dizziness, but I am sleeping some. And over Shabbat, around 2:45 in the morning, I slept a little bit and I was unable to sleep some more. So I got up and I said about 10 chapters of Tehillim from the book of Psalms, which I found enormously comforting, and I was able to go back to sleep. Something shifting. In general, we see that there's more and more attention now being focused on what Israel is doing in response to the brutality of last Shabbat, not this past Shabbat, the Shabbat before, on October 7th. And we're kind of seeing the division into two camps. A lot of Israelis are losing patience, and Israel supporters losing patience with people who refuse to see who the bad guys are in this situation. I did make a number of points. I made a number of notes for myself about points that I wanted to share. And then I thought, you know what? I am really not a political commentator. There are other people that are much better at that. So I will just say this. There are people who are unable at this stage to choose the right side of this. We live in a world of sheker. We live in a world of lies. We live in a world where everything is upside down. And we are being given a choice to discern what is light versus what is dark, and what is good versus what is evil. And this is it is becoming crystal clear. And this is the task of the moment. Whose side are you on? Are you on God's team, or are you on the team of the evil ones? And I just want to conclude by telling you these two amazing, amazing stories. So there's a recording going around the internet of a woman. It's in Hebrew, but it has English subtitles, of a woman who called in from Ashkelon. Ashkelon is very close to Gaza and has suffered from quite a lot of missile fire. And she's a woman with a child at home. And in tearful Hebrew, she called and asked this past Friday, could someone possibly bring her Shabbat candles to light? She has never lit Shabbat candles in her life. She doesn't even know what blessing to make. And she can't leave the house because of her child. But she was asking, is there somebody who could come and bring her Shabbat candles and bring her the blessing? This is the light. This is the unbelievable energy of people who are moved in some way spiritually, in ways that they may not even understand, by what's going on, and calling out. They may not see it that way, but calling out to Hashem in whatever ways they can. The other story is a man in Los Angeles who was completely Jewish, but completely not religious, and he went to present himself to a physician, to a surgeon, to have a brit milah, to have a ritual circumcision, because he had never had that as a child. And he was unable, because of certain physical limitations of his. He has multiple sclerosis, he has Crohn's. He's not able to do really, he felt much else, but he wanted to identify with his people. And so he presented himself for surgery. And this kind of surgery on an adult on an 8-day-old baby, it's not a big deal, but on an adult, it's really quite a big deal. And so we are seeing light and light and light and light, fighting. This is it. It's this great battle between light and darkness. And I know if you're listening to this, that you are likely on the right side. And we thank you for your prayers.